slap my butt and call me Scuttle, because The Little Mermaid 2023 is not a remake. Let's talk about it. Just got back home from seeing The Little Mermaid 2023. Now, to refresh myself, last night, me and my sister, I called her over. I said, hey, come over. Let's watch The Little Mermaid. Let's prepare. Because, like, in my soul, I felt like The Little Mermaid 2023 was this big event. Like, I could feel it. I felt nervous. I was excited. I was ready to get to the movie theaters. I was driving over the speed limit. Like, whatever I needed to do to get to this movie. First, recap the original Little Mermaid. So, as you know, The Little Mermaid starts off with a musical number. Sebastian is orchestrating a song. Little Mermaid's, Ariel's sisters, they're coming together to celebrate the Little Mermaid and how beautiful her voice is, and it's a celebration. And who's not there? Ariel. Where is Ariel? She's in her little secret closet. Let's call it a little closet, a little sea closet, where she's like going through all of her little trinkets. And she wants to go with her best friend, Flounder, to find some new trinkets. So she's finding trinkets, and she goes to the top of the ocean, and she finds her best friend Scuttle, and she's just like, okay, this is what I found. You know the story. So she's late to her own event, and by the time she makes it there, the whole event is over with. She's meeting with her dad. Her dad's upset, yada, yada, yada. Top of the ocean again, she falls in love with Prince Eric. She makes a deal, makes a contract with Ursula. Things that she wanted was to be with Eric, to dance, and to be on the beach. Ariel's my kind of girl. I want to be with my man. I want to be on the beach. And I want to dance a little. I get it. I understand it. I totally agree. So she makes this deal. She goes to Earth. She goes to land, whatever. She gets on up there. She falls in love with Eric even more. He falls in love with her. You know, she rescues him from a wreckage from his boat. And they have a musical number on the boat. And they are about to make this final kiss where they fall in love, and she can have her feet for the rest of her life. And that doesn't happen because Ursula comes in with her eels and knocks the boat over. And eventually Ursula is just like, you know what? I gotta get some darn feet. So she comes to land, and she says that I'm the real Ariel. I'm who you're looking for. And that's not true. Eric defeats Ursula. So King Triton has some respect for Eric, because he's like, oh, all humans ain't bad. I like that. So then he's like, okay, I'm going to give Ariel some feet, because I can dig Eric. I can feel him. He's cutting for us. I like that. He protected my land, or my sea. And he defeated Ursula. He protected all the people. He protected my girl. I'm good with this. She goes back to the land. She says goodbye to the sea forever and ever. She marries Eric, and they live happily ever after. That is the original that we know. Child, Disney said we ain't gonna do that. And I don't know if they were thinking to themselves, okay, well, we don't want to paint a picture in 2023 that if you fall in love with a young girl, falls in love with a young guy, and she's doing everything she can to be with this man. Because in this new remake, baby, that just didn't happen. So I took some notes, and we're going to go over my notes and talk about how the 2023 The Little Mermaid is completely different. The original Little Mermaid. So these aren't in particular order, and right now I'm just going to give you a spoiler. I'm literally doing the dramatic, so you can pause this video and not watch it until you see, or if you want to see, the new Little Mermaid. And honestly speaking, you can wait until it's on Disney Plus. But if you just want to give my girl Haley some coins, go to the movie theater. Whatever. I ain't trying to take her dollar, so maybe you need to go see it in the movie theaters. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing that I noticed for the new Little Mermaid 2023 is that they have a cold opening. Like, there is no opening singing number. Sebastian doesn't orchestrate a song with the sea creatures and the mermaids and the mermans. The point of this kingdom is that they're known for music, and Sebastian is the orchestrator of that music. So there's none of that. So at the beginning of the new Little Mermaid 2023, the king calls all his daughters together to have some sort of corporate meeting. Ariel's not there. She's out scavenging for random trinkets. And then all of a sudden she remembers that she's supposed to be at this corporate meeting that King Triton wants to have to talk about what was going on in the sea. The point of it is, in the original, Ariel has the most beautiful voice of the sea. And so for them not to open the movie with them preparing to, reveal her in a beautiful shell like the original movie was weird for me. And I didn't like that. Let's talk about the contract. So in the original movie, Ursula makes a contract with Ariel that she's going to take her voice and she has to get Prince Eric to fall in love with her in 3 days, and they must kiss before the sunset of the third day. So in The Little Mermaid 2023, there is no contract. There's a curse. So they completely change everything. So now she's cursed. Not only does she lose her voice, she also forgets the fact that she has to kiss Eric in order for them to fall in love, in order for her to keep her feet. That's out the window. And honestly, this really made me mad. This really made me mad because the church already got an issue with just secular stuff. And here y'all go, making it this whole thing that Ariel has to now freaking give a blood sacrifice in order to get this curse. So Ursula has her rip off piece of her fin from her body and give her this little fin to put in the potion. This is a small little nuance that just didn't make any sense. So the original, the sisters, they all had names that started with A. In the new movie, all of a sudden, we have a whole nationality of Ariels, which honestly, the only way they could get away with this movie is if they had a whole nationality of mermaids. When really, it should have just been a whole nationality of black women. But, I mean, Ariel's black. King Triton should have been black. And all her sisters should have been black, if you asking me. And all their names should have started with an A. But that didn't happen. So we got this chocolate black girl, and her name's like Starquishiana. And I'm like, what in the world is this? Honestly, if it was Starquishiana, I would have liked it because it's weird, it's different, it's magical, it's whimsical. But her name was like, I don't know, Cheyenne or something. Like some American regular name. And I was like, what is this? Why are you doing this to us? It's stupid. No one's name started with an A except Ariel. Like they didn't, it's like little things that they just didn't need to change. I didn't like that. We have to talk about this because all of a sudden Eric has parents. Baby, we didn't know nothing about his childhood, his parents, his auntie, uncle, and all them in the first movie. Because we didn't care. All Ariel wanted was her man. She didn't care where he came from, what he was doing before she met him. She just wanted him. That's it. Now in this new movie, he's an orphan. And his parents found him. And his dad died. His adopted dad. And we just got to know that for some reason. So we can feel bad for him. I don't know. Like, the point of it is that it's a fairy tale where, it's unbelievable. We don't need to have a backstory. So we get to land, we get to this castle, and all of a sudden, we meet his mom. And she's black. So I don't get that. What in the Cinderella Brandy is going on? Because why his mama gotta be black? And I'm black. I don't understand that. Why she have to be black? She couldn't be any other color. She couldn't be his color. I mean, I guess because he adopted. It just didn't make any sense. I just felt like it was so many black. I ain't gonna say too many because black people, I ain't gonna, the money, okay? Get your Disney check. I can appreciate that. But like for me, it's like, okay, this movie is full of black people. and they're British, they're Jamaican, where are we on the map? Where exactly is this castle? My husband was like, I think they're in a Bermuda Triangle. Like, because, you got British people, black people, Jamaican people, Korean people, Asian people. It's like everybody is there. And we didn't need it. We didn't need to know the backstory of Eric's parents. Let's go back to this contract / curse. In the original, Ariel didn't skip a freaking beat when it came to this contract. The moment Ursula told her, I can give you some feet, Ariel said, where do I sign? In the new movie, Ariel is like, I don't know. I might be all right, She's like, maybe I can be in the sea. I was like, wait. Ariel's supposed to be so anxious, like even part of your world, she's just like anxious and she's in agony and hopeful and emotional. She just wants to be on land. And then we get to the part of Ariel making this contract with Ursula in the new film, and she's just like, well, let me think about it. Baby, what? What do you mean you want to think about it? There's nothing to think about. Eric is your man. We want him. We're trying to get to him, baby. Sebastian is trying to convince Ariel that everything that she could ever need, everything that she could ever desire is in the sea. Like, there's nothing that you could ever want on land because the sea is so great. So that leads us to Under the Sea. We all know it. We all love it. And so in the new movie, Ariel joins Sebastian in the song. And I was confused. I said, wait, so she's agreeing with Sebastian? Like, she agrees that Under the Sea is better than land? Why is she singing with the man? Or the crab? That was stupid. That was like something that they did, like another little nuance that they literally didn't need. We didn't need it. And I felt like they were using that time to just give Hallie another reason to freaking sing. And then she didn't even have a verse. She was like doing BGVs. She was just on the background. Just, I'm like, you know what? That's stupid, and I don't like it. The awkward part where Eric is conflicted on the fact that he cannot find this woman who saved him. So he's walking around his kingdom, walking around the rocks, walking around the water, just thinking about this girl. And what does he do? Burst into song. Why did Eric need a song? He didn't. Because in the original, Eric couldn't sing. That's why he was so impressed with Ariel. Because she could sing. And he's like, wow, I ain't never heard a voice like that. She sound like Beyonce. Like, wow. Like, oh my God, you remember when Ashanti was coming up out the water in that song, Baby? Like, that's what he was thinking in the original. In the new one, he's like, oh, I can sing too. And I got a couple of runs. And I got a big voice too. I'm like, why did he need a song? He plays the flute. Why am I listening to this man sing? Somebody. Honestly, I picked up my phone when he started singing. I just left the movie mentally because I was so mad. Eric didn't need to sing. He needed to play the flute and think about his woman. Got on my nerves. Everything about the woman gets on my nerves. She shouldn't have been a bird. She's just not a funny gal. She's not. And then we had a little rap number and we didn't need it. For me, my sister loved the rap number. I was just like, I didn't need it. And honestly, okay, here's my thing. Maybe I should wait till the end to kind of like give you an overview of what I'm thinking of why they did what they did with this movie. Ariel finally gets her contract legs or her curse legs. She gets to go to the kingdom and they kind of just bring her in, and her and Eric get to, go around the village a little bit before they get on the carriage. So in the new movie, they do the carriage first, where they're riding a horse or whatever, and she takes control of the horse, and it gets a little wild, it gets a little crazy, And they get to this village, and during the village she's just walking around looking at stuff, looking at food, looking at people. They have a small cameo of the original Ariel in the movie where she gives her a bowl of food and tells her to try it. She doesn't try it, whatever. So they start playing like background, like house music in the back, like Jamaican music in the back for Under the Sea. And you know, when Ariel was in the water, her whole thing was, I want to dance. So she gets out there and she starts dancing with the village people, but there was no song. If there ever should have been a song outside of Under the Sea and Part of Your World, it should have been right there in that moment. But of course they didn't give it to us because they didn't have enough time maybe to fit it in the movie, because they went so many directions everywhere else. And so it was just this awkward dancing where we really didn't see her dance. It was just her like playing with her dress, and then it was weird. And then next thing you know, they ended it. And then there's this weird bit right after that with the hat. I was just like, this is tired. If y'all just followed the original movie, we wouldn't have to come up with this concept about Pete or Eric in his stupid hat that the bird comes and snatches from him and leads him to some water so they can get on the boat for the, kiss the girl. Speaking of kiss the girl, in the original movie, again, Sebastian he orchestrates music. And so in the original, he's like getting all the fish and the frogs and everything in this little scene to kind of sing to Ariel and Eric to get them to kiss, because that's Ariel's goal, and she knows that she loves him and he loves her, and they just need to kiss so she can have some legs. Not in the new movie. She has no idea that she has to kiss this man, so she's just sitting there awkwardly while he's rowing the boat. He has a crab on his back and he doesn't even realize it, and Sebastian is literally talking in his ear. And he don't realize that he got a big old darn fish on his back. I'm just like, why? Why is this happening? And so Sebastian literally uses like the trees and the leaves to make this song. And then the bird starts singing, and the bird can't even sing. And then all of a sudden she can sing. I'm going to introduce her name to this man. So instead of Sebastian telling him what her name is, he's explaining stars. Because why did y'all have to bring a horoscope in this movie? Like, it was random. Why do they know about the horoscope? And he was like, this is Aries, and she looked at him with shock in her eyes, and she touches his lip, and he was like, oh, your name's Aries. And she takes her finger and brushes his lip down until he says Ariel. Are you kidding me? Is this a freaking joke, Disney? I was like, what in the COVID-19 is this? Why are you touching my face with your hands? It was bad. I just felt like there was a different way. There was a different way that could have happened for him to just learn her name. Like, because she forgets that they have to kiss. It was just the point. They should have just took it out of the movie. But they were trying their best to merge these two movies to make them make sense, because they want to be politically correct. And it's a fairy tale. Just tell us the story. You don't have to be politically correct. You wasn't politically correct in the 90s. God, I just wanted the Little Mermaid OG. Okay, this really disappointed me. I swear to God, it disappointed me. Like, I'm getting upset just thinking about it. Ariel had 2 outfit changes. 2! I'm thinking she gonna come out of the water like she did in the original movie in a sparkly, sexy dress, running towards her man like, yes, daddy, here I am. I'm sparkling. I'm coming out the water. I am yours forever. No, they put my girl Hallie in some village clothes. They went to Target floral section, got her a couple of dresses, 2 to be exact, threw her in it, gave her some puff arms, and called it a freaking day. Why is Eric's mom at the wedding wearing white and Ariel got on pink? Somebody tell me why they did my girl like that. They did not have to do my girl like that. They really could have had her looking good. They really could have had her looking snatched. They really could have had her in a cute little bikini, like when she first came out of the water with her cute little top. None of that. We got none of it. Okay, so when Ursula turned into Vanessa, okay, first of all, my sister made this point. Why didn't Vanessa look like Ariel? Because when Eric was laying there confused and he had a little mini concussion or whatever was going on with him and Ariel saved him, he saw brown skin. I don't know. And I know that Melissa McCarthy played Ursula, and you know, it would have been a little blackface if she would have turned into Vanessa the black girl, and y'all would have had a problem with that. I wouldn't have had a problem with that. I just want y'all to know that. It would have been a problem for me, okay? She didn't look nothing like Ariel. Like, the girl was pasty. Like, I was just like, what? And there was no wedding. Like, when she came onto land and she turned into a human, like, they were just having, like, a little party on the ledge of the castle. Mom comes up to Eric and she's like, oh, I have my mother's ring. This is for you. And, you know, somehow the ring gets lost because the bird comes and knocks it out of his hand, and we never see the ring again. We don't see the ring again ever. That was the last time we saw the ring, when it fell on the ground and someone kicked it to the side. I wanted a fake wedding on the boat, but that's not what they give us. It's not. My sister made a note and she said she felt like Eric was boring. I liked Eric. He was good looking. He looked better in the movie than he do in real life. I don't know how they did that. I guess it's his hair. I don't know. I liked him. I think he's a good actor. He did a good job playing Eric. He was charming. He really, I mean, there's no death to him in the original movie. So I feel like they kind of tried to give him a little bit of death by giving us a backstory on him that we didn't ask for and that we literally did not need, because this movie is about Ariel wanting to be on land and wanting to be with her man, and that's it, and that's okay. The characters overall. Honestly, I think Halle did an amazing job playing Ariel. She was very convincing. Her acting was really good. Like, she's a really good actress, and she played the role perfectly fine. Throughout the movie, she seemed very frightened by everything. But I like that. She had an innocence about her. She had a youngness about her, kind of like the original Ariel. And King Triton, the OG King Triton and the new King Triton, there was a huge disconnect. I feel like the original King Triton had lots of personality. You could tell he really loved his daughters. Like, every time he would confront Ariel about something, you could like feel how much he loved her and how concerned he was of her going to land. Like, that was just like, his daughters were everything. And once he realized that she was in love, he was so, you know, boisterous about it, and he was happy. But like the new King Triton, he was very like monotone, no personality. It wasn't a good match. Ursula, y'all already know my girl Melissa McCarthy is gonna shut it down every time. Literally every other line for her was hilarious. Like, the audience wasn't laughing as hard as I was, and maybe I'm biased, but she did a phenomenal job. Her singing was great. Like, she was the perfect Ursula. Like, her voice variations when she would go up and down, and she was just tired, and just like, she was just giving me villain, and I loved her in this movie. I love Sebastian. I loved his accent. I mean, he was cool. I think out of all of the characters, he was the only character that actually was like the closest to the cartoon. Like all his lines, most everything that he did. Flounder was a weird looking real fish. I mean, what can you do with that? He was a fish and his eyeballs go here. They don't go here. So he was a little weird looking, and he wasn't fat enough. They made a skinny flounder and I don't like that. I did not like that. Now that I'm thinking about it. So what do I say overall for this movie? In the comments, tell me what you think about the new Little Mermaid. What would you rate this movie? Who is your favorite character? Do you think the movies kind of were similar enough for you? Honestly, it wasn't a bad movie. It was not a remake of The Little Mermaid. It was a brand new movie with a brand new plot, with a brand new twist, with a brand new concept that kind of just reminded you of the original. And if you didn't watch the original or you haven't watched the original, I genuinely feel like you may have enjoyed this movie more. And maybe it was my bad that I went back and watched watched the OG. But I absolutely love The Little Mermaid. I grew up on The Little Mermaid, so I was super excited to see this movie. But it is most definitely not a remake.